Hey guys, what's going on? It's Karl here, back with another episode. Before we get started, I'm actually teaming up with Oppo to give away this very device. It is essentially brand new. It just comes preloaded with a ton of selfies of me, which makes it way better, right? Anyways, this is the Oppo F1 Plus. It is essentially the best smartphone for taking selfies. The original F1 had a 8 megapixel front-facing cam, whereas the F1 Plus has double that with a 16. That's right, a 16 megapixel front-facing camera. It also has f2 aperture and a decent beefy size sensor, which means all of your selfies and all of your Snapchat game will be on point. It's crazy to think that this front-facing cam has a higher megapixel count, and I know that megapixels always don't mean having better pictures, but this thing has more than some rear-facing cams on smartphones found today. Not gonna name any names. And from what I've compared to, I've used the F1 Plus and compared that against, for example, the iPhone 6s Plus and even my Galaxy S7, and I think the F1 Plus has the best front-facing cam that I've used probably out of any smartphone to date, which means it can take that title, self-proclaimed best smartphone for selfies. But I took the F1 Plus on an entire test. I took selfies essentially from when I woke up, went to work, throughout the entire day, and documented my life in selfies. Here's those shots. Let me know what you think. And although the front-facing or even rear-facing cam for that matter doesn't record in 4K, still 1080p is pretty decent. I'm about to do a little inception here, test on test, so we're recording with my normal cam. This is the F1 Plus. Don't know what lens to look into. Usually that's my main cam. Don't look at the screen, look into the lens cam, and you guys can get a sense of what the actual video quality is like. And now I'm fully recording on the F1 Plus, and you could technically use this, if you can stabilize it enough, as a selfie rig. Say you're vlogging for the first time, don't want to invest into another camera. I think this makes for a pretty decent starter, from what I can tell on the screen. What do you guys think? Naturally, other than having a very awesome front-facing camera, the F1 Plus is still a very capable smartphone. It has 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage, comes with Color OS, a nice little overlay on top of Android 5.1. I would say a pretty big improvement from their last version, very easy on the eyes, obviously very easy to use, and very reminiscent of the likes of an iPhone and iOS. And the Oppo also takes a few other design cues from the iPhone as well. And I'm not gonna say that's a good or bad thing. I've always liked the design of the iPhone 6s. It's built out of aluminum, very premium to feel in the hands. I love the fact that you don't get too many fingerprints on the back. And what Oppo has done on the front, which is a huge improvement, Apple take a couple notes here, the bezel is incredibly thin, which I love. Both have a 5.5-inch display, but the Oppo has a noticeably smaller footprint just because of those thinner bezels, and I'm a huge fan of that. Day-to-day use on the F1 is extremely quick and snappy. Every single thing that you throw at the F1, for example, day-to-day tasks, multitasking, checking emails, playing a few games, switching between apps, using your smartphone for what it's meant to, the F1 hasn't lagged on me once, which I've been super impressed with. Another useful feature, especially while I was traveling, was naturally the dual SIM card slot tray. So in case you go to a different country, you don't always have to fumble around with different SIM cards. One thing though that I did notice, it doesn't support 4G LTE here in North America. Still not too sure if that supports it out in Asia where these phones are a bit more well known. When I was in Thailand, I saw ads in stores for Oppo for days. Literally, it was everywhere. Maybe not so well known here, but they're definitely making strides to becoming more known in the North American market. If you are looking to up your selfie game or just become the king or queen of Snapchat, I cannot recommend the F1 Plus enough. It is an overall solid device, and remember, I am giving this very one away. Just remember that info is right underneath that like button, and leave a random comment down below where or some random place you would take a selfie with. Keep it simple and keep it PG. Alrighty, I think that pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys liked it, be sure to go nuts over on that like button as it does help me out a bunch. I had so much fun making this video, taking random Snapchats and random selfies of myself every single place that I went. If you already haven't, be sure to sub to the channel for more sweet content, and I will catch the rest of you in either one of my next episodes or vlogs. Peace.